Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. This time, we're taking a look at some really heartwarming stories. Stories of kindness that have gone beyond just individuals and made a real impact around the world.
It's pretty incredible, actually. It's like these individual acts, they all create this ripple effect.
Yeah,
It's almost like they're connected somehow, forming this like global tapestry of compassion.
I like that, a global tapestry.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the really interesting stories we've got, let's do a quick overview of some other acts of kindness that we found.
Sounds good.
So we start off in Chicago, where we found a story of a shopper, an anonymous shopper, who actually paid for the groceries of a family that was having a little bit of a hard time.
Oh, wow.
And then we go over to Tokyo, where a librarian created a library of smiles filled with just these little uplifting notes that anyone could take.
It's nice to have a little something to brighten your day.
Yeah, exactly. Then we found a teacher in Johannesburg who actually used her own money to buy school uniforms for students who couldn't afford them.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing how something like that can have such a big impact,
Uh,
on a kid's life.
totally.
And then we head over to London, where, get this, a group of marathon runners, they actually stopped during the race to help a spectator in a wheelchair.
I saw a picture of that. It was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, it was so powerful. I mean, they're running this marathon and they stopped to help this guy out. It really says something about empathy, even when you're going through something challenging yourself.
For sure. And then we finish up in New Orleans, where we found a group of musicians who decided to play some uplifting music outside of a hospital, just to bring a little bit of joy to the patients and families and staff.
Music is really powerful like that. It can be so much more than just entertainment. It can offer comfort and hope.
Oh, absolutely. So are you ready to get into the top 5 most impactful stories of kindness?
Oh, yeah, let's dive in.
Okay, first up, we have the Global Blanket Project in Canada. This group, they knitted blankets for refugees arriving, during those cold winter months. And one of the organizers said, quote, "Each blanket is a hug from us to them."
Oh, I mean, imagine coming to a new country, right? You've left everything behind.
Yeah.
And someone gives you this handmade blanket. It's like the symbol of care, a real tangible way to say welcome.
It's like saying you matter without even saying it. Okay, next we have a story that shows how social media can actually be a force for good.
Oh, yeah.
This was the Viral Kindness Challenge.
I think I saw something about that.
Yeah. Basically, this influencer encouraged thousands of people to do these acts of kindness and share them online.
It's great that they turned this idea of going viral, which can be so negative, and made it positive.
Yeah.
It wasn't about getting likes. It was about genuine kindness.
Right. And it really did make an impact. We'll actually hear later from someone who saw this challenge and was inspired to organize a book drive for kids in need.
Oh, wow. So it had real-world impact.
Absolutely. So our third story takes us to a small town in Italy. And this town, they had what they called silent nights. They would leave groceries and supplies on the doorsteps of elderly neighbors.
Yeah.
Just making sure they had what they needed without making a big fuss about it.
I love that. It's not about the recognition.
Exactly.
It's about quietly being there for your community. And, one participant said, quote, "We wanted them to know they are not alone." What a powerful message.
Yeah, it shows that sometimes the most impactful acts are the quiet ones.
Ah,
Okay, story number 4 is from Los Angeles, and it's about the Garden of Unity. This group turned an empty lot into a community garden.
community gardens are so great.
Yeah, and this one became much more than just a place to grow vegetables. It brought people together from all different backgrounds.
That's what I love about them. They grow more than vegetables. They grow friendships.
Right. And lastly, we have a story from Sydney, Australia, about the heroic bystander. This person didn't even think twice when they saw a child about to be hit by a car. Yeah, they saved the kid, stayed with the family until help came, and then they just said, quote, "I did what anyone would do." Just incredible humility.
Amazing. Just goes to show any of us can make a real difference.
And speaking of making a difference, this story actually ties in perfectly with the hashtag kindness chain movement that's been spreading online.
Oh, yeah. Hashtag kindness chain. What's that all about?
Well, it's all about creating a chain reaction of good deeds. Like one act inspires another and so on.
So you're harnessing social media for good. That's really cool.
Exactly. It's like going viral into something positive.
I like that.
And remember that viewer we mentioned earlier, the one inspired by the Viral Kindness Challenge?
Yeah.
Well, they decided to organize a book drive for kids at a local shelter. They said seeing the kids' faces light up when they got those books was the best feeling.
That's just beautiful. Real world impact from an online movement. It's amazing how these things can come full circle.
And it all starts with that one decision to be kind, to just take that first step and become a part of that chain.
That's the beauty of it. Anyone can be a part of it. So, welcome back to our deep dive into kindness. We're looking at all these stories that remind us of how powerful human connection can be.
It's really inspiring to see how acts of kindness, big and small, are having this ripple effect all around the world.
We were just talking about that hashtag kindness chain movement. And what's so interesting about it is how it's using social media in a positive way.
Yeah, exactly. It's like instead of just scrolling through all the negativity you see online, people are choosing to actually share kindness.
It's a nice change of pace, isn't it?
Definitely. And people aren't just posting quotes or sharing stories. They're actually taking action based on what they see.
So real change is happening because of it.
Oh, yeah. We're seeing everything from those random acts of kindness challenges to like full-blown community initiatives.
Like that viewer who organized a book drive.
Exactly. It just proves that online inspiration can translate into real-world impact.
Definitely. But even before social media, there were always those people and organizations dedicated to spreading kindness.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, think about the Random Acts of Kindness Foundation. They've been promoting kindness for years and years.
Yeah, I love their approach. It's not about saving the world all at once.
Right.
It's about those small, everyday acts that can really make a difference.
Like leaving a nice note for your coworker.
Exactly. Or just giving a genuine compliment to a stranger.
It's the little things,
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that kindness isn't only about individual acts.
Sorry?
There are also organizations working to make things better on a larger scale, with
Yeah.
compassion and empathy.
So, like, what kind of organizations?
Well, there are groups that help refugees, and groups that fight for human rights or groups that are trying to reduce poverty and inequality.
So, addressing the root causes of suffering, in a way.
Exactly. They're creating a more just and equal world, which I think is amazing.
It's using kindness as a catalyst for change.
Exactly. It all goes back to that idea that kindness isn't just about being nice. It's about recognizing that everyone is valuable.
Yeah.
And when we act on that belief, it can lead to real change in the world.
We've been talking about these big stories and initiatives, but I think it's important to remember that kindness doesn't always have to be this huge gesture.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Sometimes the most powerful acts are the quiet ones, the ones that people don't even notice.
That's so true. Like holding the door for someone or offering a helping hand, just little things.
Right. Or just being a good listener when someone needs to talk.
Yeah, it's those little acts of consideration that really show you care, even if they don't make the news or end up on social media.
And the cool thing is, those small acts can have just as big of an impact as any grand gesture.
Oh, totally. Think about it. You smile at someone on the street, it makes them feel good, and maybe they're a little nicer to the next person they meet.
And it just keeps going.
Exactly. It's this chain reaction of positivity that started with that one little act of kindness.
It reminds me of that quote, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. We never really know what someone else is going through. And a little bit of kindness could be exactly what they need to get through the day.
So true. And there's even research showing that being kind is good for us too.
What do you mean?
Well, it can actually boost your mood and reduce stress. Some studies even say it's good for your physical health.
So it's a win-win situation.
Exactly. Kindness is good for everyone involved. It connects us, uplifts us, and can even inspire us to make the world a better place.
A pretty powerful force.
Absolutely. And that's really what we're trying to explore in this deep dive. Kindness isn't just a feeling, it's an active choice we make every single day. It's about choosing to see the good in others, offering support, and working together to create a more compassionate and connected world.
Welcome back to our deep dive into kindness. We've heard some truly incredible stories, but now I want to talk about how we can all be a part of this movement.
It's one thing to feel inspired, but how do we actually put that inspiration into action? How do we make kindness a part of everyday life?
It starts with recognizing that kindness isn't some special quality that only some people have. It's a choice we can all make. It's like a muscle you can strengthen.
Yeah, like building a new habit. It takes effort at first, but then it comes more natural.
Exactly. Remember that influencer who started that viral kindness challenge?
Yeah.
They didn't have any superpowers. They just decided to make kindness a priority, and it inspired others to do the same.
And those challenges are all about those simple things, like smiling at someone or leaving a kind note.
Right, things that we can all do. We don't need to wait for some challenge to start being kind.
Yeah.
Hey, think about your own day. How can you add a little bit more kindness to it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's holding the door for someone, giving a coworker a compliment, or just really listening when a friend needs to talk.
It's about being mindful, Like, instead of rushing through your day, think about how you can make someone's day a little bit better.
Right, and those small things, they really do add up. Your act of kindness could inspire someone else to be kind.
And then it just keeps going.
You become part of that hashtag kindness chain.
Yeah.
You're contributing to a more compassionate world.
Exactly. And if you want to do even more, volunteering is a great way to do that.
Oh, yeah,
There are so many organizations out there that need volunteers, and it's such a rewarding experience. I mean, you really feel like you're making a difference.
for sure. You can find opportunities online at your local community center, or even ask around at work.
And if you're busy, even a small donation to a cause you care about can go a long way.
Absolutely. Choose an organization that aligns with what's important to you, whether it's helping the environment, or fighting hunger. And of course, let's not forget about social media, sharing those stories of kindness, giving those organizations a platform.
Yeah. Use your voice to promote kindness.
Exactly. It helps create this culture where compassion is valued.
Def-
So as we wrap up this deep dive into kindness, I hope you're leaving feeling inspired. But more than that, I hope you're ready to take action.
Remember, every single one of us has the power to make a difference. Even those small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect on the world.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. Now go out there and be a part of the hashtag kindness chain. The world needs your compassion more than ever.